Hello my beauties, how are you today? My name is Alexandra. If you're new here, in today's video we're going to be doing makeup hacks, and I'm really excited to show this to you guys because these are some hacks that I learned throughout the years and they might seem super obvious, but I really thought I should share this with you guys because it will make your makeup look a lot better and a lot more amazing, and these are just a few simple steps. So enough talking and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so hack number one, if you can call it like that, is a concealer hack. And I already did my brows and my base because, you know, I want it to be a bit quicker. And I'm gonna use my Born This Way concealer, and I'm also gonna use the Huda Beauty concealer, which is this one right here. For the Huda Beauty one, I am using shade, if I can find it, Nougat, and for the Born This Way concealer, I use shade Light Beige. Light Beige is more or less my skin tone, and the reason why I use a concealer that's more or less the same color as my skin tone is to cover up my dark circles. If you don't have dark circles, you don't need this step, but I'm gonna show you this step specific for dark circles. And I only use a tiny amount right here in the hollow of my eye just to cover up that darkness, and also I use it on my lid, but I'm gonna do that later. And I always blend out my concealer with a beauty blender just because I feel like it gives more coverage and the brush might leave some streaks. So I always like to use a beauty blender, and I'm just gonna blend this out and I'll show you what I do with the other concealer. And what's left of it, I just use it on my lid to prime for the eyeshadow. So as you can see, this is not highlighting the face or anything, maybe just a tiny bit, but nothing too major. And now I'm gonna show you the next step. Okay, so then I take the lighter concealer, which is the one from Huda Beauty, and you only need a very small amount of this concealer because it is so full coverage and you don't want to look like a crazy person. So I only add 3 small dots just to brighten up the skin, and that's all I need. Like I said, this is a super powerful concealer, and I just add it like right here under my eyes to brighten up the skin and to brighten up the complexion, and that is it. That's all the concealer I need. I don't like to add more concealer because otherwise it will look way too cakey, and I just don't like that. And then I'll just use it on my chin and a little bit on my forehead, sometimes on the nose, it depends on the day. But that is it. I don't like to add a lot of concealer because, as I said before, it can be way too cakey. And yeah, then I just blend it out with the beauty blender. I'm just gonna set everything real quick off camera and I'll be right back. Okay, so I already went ahead and did my eyeshadow because there's no hack involved. The next hack is actually correcting this eyeliner and correcting the eyeshadow. So what I'll typically do when I do my eyeshadow, I'll take the beauty blender and basically just with what's left over from the concealer that we used before, basically what I'll do is I'll just clean up just like so, you know, and I'll just keep on cleaning with the beauty blender. And then I'll blend a little bit more, then I'll clean up again, and I'll just, as I said, I'll just clean as I go. And now, because I messed up with the eyeliner a little bit here, I'll take some concealer. So I'm gonna take my Too Faced concealer, and with a very thin brush, if I can find one today. So I'm just gonna use this brush from Morphe. This is the Morphe 443 brush, which is this one right here. So you would need a pointy brush or whichever brush you prefer. I just like to use a pointy one. And I'm gonna correct my eyeliner. So I'm gonna take some of the concealer and I'm gonna coat the brush. I don't wanna add too much on the brush at once, and then I'll just use the back of my hand to take off the excess of the brush. And now I'm carefully, without getting any concealer in my hair, I'm going to correct this area. Let me move you guys a little bit closer so you can see. So I'll carefully clean up this area. Just like so. And as you can see, I have a line now. And then I'll take another brush, like a fluffier brush, and I'm gonna blend this out because you don't wanna have like a straight line over there. Okay, so I'm just blending it down very softly. And then I'm just gonna pat it with my finger. And as you can see now, it is perfect. So I'm just gonna do the same on the other side. And this is the one that I actually had to correct because I kind of messed up. And then, because you can still see that line, I'm gonna take the brush that I used to do my eyeshadow, and I'm actually gonna pat the concealer a little bit with some eyeshadow. And the same over here. And now it's as if nothing really happened. Do you see anything? Because I don't. This was the second hack. And now I'm actually gonna take the beauty blender and clean up one more time. And the reason why I don't do the highlighter and the contour is because I keep on cleaning up, you know? So you don't want to remove any of your highlighter. Okay, so now that I added some lashes while they're drying, we're gonna do the rest of the face. So one of the big mistakes that people do is when they contour, and when you contour, you don't want to add your contour, well, first your bronzer. So first you want to bronze up the skin, and then you want to contour a little bit. When you bronze up the skin, you don't want to go ham and use bronzer basically everywhere, okay? So what I'll typically do, I'll use a brush, a dual fiber brush, and this is my dual fiber brush from Better, and I love this brush so much. And I'm just gonna use my Hourglass bronzer, which is the same bronzer I always use, and I'm gonna swirl the brush in here. And basically what I'll do, I'll just bronze up this area, and sometimes I'll use it a little bit as a blush, but that's it. You don't want to use it all over, you know. So I'm going to show you, but basically it's just a little bit on the cheek and right underneath that brow bone, and that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and add it, and I'm always using circular motions, and like this it blends in really well, and that's about it. So as you can see, you don't have like any streaks or anything weird, and this is basically how I like to bronze up my skin. Gonna do the same on the other eye, I was gonna say on the other side, of course, and gonna add some of it like right here as if I'm adding blush. The reason I do this is because I don't like blush on myself, so I'll just add a little bit of bronzer there. And then I'll go back in and add some bronzer on my temples, and I'm going in with a very light hand. I'm not pressing in too hard, because as I said, I don't want anything to be weird and streaky. I want everything to blend in perfectly. And then with what's left on the brush, I'll add some of it to my nose, but not too much, because you don't want to look cray. And then I'll take the bronzer and add it right here on the jawline. And then with what's left of it, I'm not going back in, I'll add it on my neck, just a tiny bit, so that everything is nice and seamless. Now the contouring part. I'm gonna take my Hoola contour, and honestly this is the best contouring product ever. I've tried other ones, but this is my favorite one. And then I'm gonna use a very specific brush like this one. This is the Zoeva 109 brush, and it's the Luxe Face Paint brush. So I'm gonna go in here, and I'm not gonna add too much, because as I said, I want everything to be really nicely blended. I'm gonna take my mirror, and then I'm just gonna take contouring right here, but I'm not gonna go all the way down because I don't want it to look like weird. So I'm just gonna keep it right here underneath the bone, and that's it. And then with what's left on the brush, I'll just add a small amount right here. Then I'm gonna go back in, and obviously I am gonna do the other side. Same technique, just underneath that brow bone. I'm not going all the way down, because then the face is not gonna look chiseled, it's gonna look just wrong. So just right here, a small amount, and we're not finished. Then I take the brush from Better again, and I blend everything in one more time so that there's no harsh lines. And that's it. And now it is time for highlighter, my favorite part. And I'm gonna use my highlighter from Jouer in the shade Skinny Dip, which is my favorite highlighter. Use any brush you want, but I used to use these fan brushes, but now I don't like it anymore because I feel like it distributes the product everywhere, and I would rather much prefer a specific brush. So I'm gonna take my brush from Morphe, if I can find it. So this is the Morphe brush that I use. It's the gold one, you know which one it is, everyone has it. And I'm gonna take some highlighter, and I'm just gonna add it right underneath that contouring, and I'm basically using circular motions to blend it in. And then with what's left of it, I'll just add it right here and above my brow. And that's it. How I like to highlight. This is how I like to highlight. That's weird. But yeah, I think this is like the best way. So I'm gonna do the same on the other side right here. And then I'm not gonna go back in. I'll just use remains on the brush, and I'm gonna add it to my nose and my chin, because this highlighter is very strong, so you don't need much. Okay, I also added some highlighter in my inner corner off camera real quick, and now it's time for lipstick. And this is one of the best hacks that I have found so far. So first of all, I love to overline my lips, which will give like a Botox effect. And I'm gonna use my trusty lip liner from Colourpop in the shade BFF. This is one of the best lip liners on the planet, and I'm obsessed with it. So what I'll typically do, I'll just do like an X right here, and that will be a lot easier, and that will just guide me. So I'll go like that, and then like that, and then I'll go from there and continue with the lip liner. And now that we're done with the lip liner, I'm gonna use a nude liquid lipstick, because that is what complements my skin right now. And I'm gonna use the one from Jeffree Star in the shade Mannequin, which is this one right here. And I'm gonna add it to my lips, and then in the middle I'll add something else. So this is the perfect nude for me at the moment, but you can obviously use whatever you prefer. Now to give that Botox effect, I'm gonna use some lip gloss, and I'm using this lip gloss from Dior. This one is in shade 257, Dior Addict. You can use any gloss that you have. I just happen to have this one on hand, and I'm just gonna add this to the center. I'm actually not gonna add it all the way here, just in the middle right here, and up here as well. And then you wanna pluck your lips together. And that is it. I hope I don't have any lip gloss on my teeth. It happens to me all the time. Okay, and that is it, I think. Oh, I forgot the most important hack, the baking hack. So I'm gonna take some translucent powder, and I'm just gonna bake underneath right here. Sometimes I forget to do this step, but it's a very important step, and it makes your makeup look a lot better. I'm just gonna take my beauty blender, and you wanna go just underneath that contour, but you don't wanna go all the way in, because otherwise it's gonna be way too much and it's just not necessary. So just go like that, and just create a straight line right underneath that contour, and just the same thing on the other side. Make sure you get an even line. Sometimes it could be a little bit hard, but and you want to leave it on for just a few seconds. You don't have to leave it on for too long. And yeah, after just a few seconds, you want to take a brush like this one, a fluffy brush, and just blend it out like so, and using circular motions. The reason why I don't like to leave it on for too long, because otherwise it's gonna get way too intense, and then you can actually see the white line, and I just don't like how that looks. Now the last part, the setting spray. You don't want to miss out on the setting spray. I'm just going to use my Mario Badescu setting spray with rose water. Make sure you don't get it in your hair. I really hate fixing spray on my hair, so I'm just going to be really careful. That is it, guys. These are my super easy fun hacks that I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the hacks and I helped you out a little bit. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what other videos you want me to do. Let me know if you liked the video. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video as always. Have an amazing week and see you soon. Toodles! I really wanted to get this done in a video and also because these hacks might yeah, let's go ahead and get started. But I really thought I should share this with you guys.
If I can't have you,